Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you here today to Creating Cards with Debbie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And today is a pre recorded version of my live. I'll post it on Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024, but today is really Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. So just ignore the date on there. And I want to apologize for not being live. I've had some issues going on. It won't let me do live videos for some reason, Facebook. So I'm doing the pre recorded version. So I'm hoping that you won't be too disappointed. Uh, like I said, I'm Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Let me switch my view here so we can see my desktop instead of me. Creating Cards with Debbie. And if you want to shop with me, you can shop in my store at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And let me bring that up here. Well, it's not. Okay, there we go. And the host code is HPETHMTZTC for the April 2024 host code. And use that code if your order is under $150. And also, if you need to reach me for any reason, you can reach me on my email, which is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com, or you can private message me on Facebook, whichever you prefer. Put those aside. And right now, Paper Pumpkin is going on until May or April 10th. You can sign up for the April Paper Pumpkin kit, and it says Delicate Wings. And it has partial pop-ups and elegant foil designs. And you can also add on our coordinating dies that'll go with April, May, and June Paper Pumpkin kits. And I believe they're only $12, so you'll get this little hexagon die and the butterfly outer edge plus the inner edge of the butterfly, the detailed part, I should say, and then a thanks name die. So I believe it's $12, and you can, if you already a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can subscribe or order that, but you need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get it. So Paper Pumpkin has been starting to give us some sneak previews of oncoming Paper Pumpkin kits. We've got April, which is called Delicate Wings, and you've got until April 10th to sign up for that. And it says send elegant words of encouragement and support to those you love. And I'm not going to go through all the details, whatever's in there. So, and then the May, the best there is. It says make cards for Father's Day and more to express your gratitude and admiration. And then June is Life is Sweet. Celebrate the sweet things in life with textured, artistic cards. This is the May. So it says perfect gift, perfect for Father's Day and more. So it's kind of a sneak peek of what it's going to be for May. Shuffle papers here. I may have to go back and edit some of this out. Okay, and don't forget about our online exclusives. Just go to my Shop With Me site, which is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net, and click on the online exclusives tab, and it'll bring you up all the things that are in the online exclusives but aren't in the catalog. So lots of good stuff. Loads and loads of different ones that have been added. And I think it's like every quarter they're adding new ones. So let me remind you that our annual catalog and our mini catalog are both retiring the end of April. So April 30th, you've got until April 30th to order any items out of these catalogs. So if there's anything that's on your wish list, don't delay because it's while supplies last. And let me put those out of the way. And look what I got in the mail yesterday. I got my new May 2024 to April 2025 new annual catalog from Stampin' Up. I can't show you the cover, or I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I can show you the cover and the back. And this is really unique this time. It's got like an embossed leaves on this top of the cover. It's really different. So that's our new front catalog. And here's, I don't want to just show my address. And there's the back side. It says to love what we do and share what we love as we help others enjoy creativity and worthwhile accomplishments. In this, we make a difference. And like I said, this goes until April 30th of 2025. So exciting, exciting. And let me show you this little flyer that I just got off the website this morning. It's a new kit that's come out, and it says by your side kit. It says I'll always be by your side. It's got a little dog and it's got a little kitty up here. Looks like a really cute kit. So also when you go into my store, just click on the kits tab there and that'll bring you up to all those. It's got lots and lots of kits that you can order. And if you're a beginner stamper, that's a real good way to get your crafting and everything because everything's included with your kit. So probably all you'll really need would be your scissors and maybe some extra adhesive if you wanted to. All right. And also I got some happy mail I want to share with you. I always end up not being able to show everybody my mail. I forget about it. So let me do that before I forget. This one is Sending You a Smile. And this is from Pam Taylor. And she's one of my, on our team, my uplines team. So we send words of encouragement to everybody. And this is for when I had my shoulder surgery for my recovery. So, but that one was Pam Taylor. I thank her. It's very pretty. Pretty card. And that's what we're doing is making cards to send to people. So we need to get them out in the mail, not just hoard them. So here's another one, sending well wishes your way. And this one is from Christine Hoover. And that's on my recovery also. I'm doing good. In fact, I got released from physical therapy last week, so I don't have to do that anymore. So that's good. I'm still doing my exercises at home, though. I want to continue those to make sure I continue to improve. Okay, and this one is from Irene Kutz, K-U-T-Z. Not sure how to pronounce that. I'm probably murdering her last name. But this is very pretty. I think this is one of the paper pumpkin kit papers. Or there was a 6x6 paper. That might be what that's from. So it says, you've been on my mind. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And I've got a couple more here. And this one is from Julie Schulke. Schulke. I'm probably murdering that last name too. And she also did the back of the envelope, which is very pretty. And it says, thinking of you. And then she just put a little note in here. Hoping you heal quickly and that you can get back to making pretty things. I've been trying to. It's been going pretty good. All right, so I guess I showed you all. All right, so I didn't forget to show those today, so I'm glad I got those done. All right, what we're going to do today is going to be using, let me get my dies out here. the Lazy Days stamp set and dies. I have a friend that wanted me to make a video using this because she ordered the stamp set right now and dies, and she's still waiting on those to come. But I wanted to get a video out so that I can share that with her and give her some ideas of how to use it. And this is going to be one of our retiring items also. It's in our annual catalog. The bundle, let's see, the bundle number is 161343. I should have looked up the page number and I didn't, but we're going to just go on with our cards here. And I did 3 cards. I'm just debating which one I want to start with. Let me get my instructions out here. Let me see. I think we're going to start with this one. Okay, it says thanks. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you. Okay, so I'll set that over there. Get all my bits and pieces out here. And let me see if that'll stand up for me to make more room here. I haven't got a whole lot of desk space here, so it's kind of crowded sometimes. All right, we're going to start off with our card base. And I'm using our pool party. And this is just our basic card layout. It's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. And I'm going to bring my bone folder over here, and we're going to burnish that really good. Try not to make too much noise on my glass mat. I love this mat. It was one of our promotions for joining our team, but that's already over with, so I apologize for that. Okay, and I'm using the Radiating Stitches dies, and I've already die cut these out. I did the largest frame, and then I put the smaller frame in the center to cut out the middle. So I just taped those together, and then I ran it through my die cut machine. Let me remove all that off of there. Here's our frame, and here's the center. And what did I do with my... Okay, we're just going to set those there. Well, yeah, they should be safe there, hoping I don't lose them. So here's our frame, and here's the center. And we're going to glue the frame directly onto the front of our card. And get my glue over here. And I'm using my Tombow glue. I want to remind you all that our new catalog is going to have some price increases. So if there's anything that you want to stock up on right now at the lower price, it might be a good idea to get your order in before the catalog goes live, because then the prices will be more. All right, so we're going to put this on the center of our card front, and that's not centered. Let me pick this up and slide it over. It's kind of lonely doing this as a recording. I've got nobody to talk to in the comments. So, but you can still comment even when I'm not live later. So don't forget that. Let me see. All right. So here's our framework that's down on the front of our card. And I'm going to have to die cut some things here that I didn't realize. Let me pause you here and How do I do that? Okay, I apologize for that. I had to die cut our little trellis out of basic white cardstock. But before I did that, to make it easier to glue down, I've attached the adhesive sheets to the back side of my cardstock. And then I was able to just die cut it, and then uh, it'll press down on my project without using glue. So it makes it a little bit easier. So I went ahead and did that. Let me go ahead and get this out of the die. And I'm just going to do a little poking here to make it let loose. And take your pick underneath it. All right, so there's our die cut trellis. So this is what it looks like. And we're just going to attach that to the front of our card, but we're not going to do that until we do our insert first. And with that, we're going to use our blending brushes. And let me see which brushes I want to use. I'm going to use Pool Party and Petal Pink. Ink pads, and get those out here. Get the adhesive sheets out of the way here, make a little room. Okay, got my Petal Pink. And I don't have my Pool Party. Let me. Okay, my Pool Party and Pebble Path is what I'm going to be using for our ink pads. So we're going to start out with our Pool Party. And this is one of our old cases, so it opens a little different, but the stamp pad is still good, so I continue to use it until I can't use it no more. So I'm going to take my Stampin' brush here, my blending brush, and I'm going to pick up some ink, and I'm going to just blot it off on my glass mat to get rid of the excess ink. And then I'm going to start coming over onto our insert die cut and just blend that until you get to the however dark you want it or how much you want on there. So, and I'm going to just kind of bring it down about 3/4 of the way from the top. All right. So I'm going to leave that because we're going to stamp some clouds here in a minute. And then I've got our Pebble Path. And I'm going to do the same thing, not getting the same ink place there. I'm going to tap that off really good. I want it fairly light at the bottom. So a little bit of that on there just to color the white a little bit so it's not so stark white. All right. And I'm going to bring out the stamps. Well, let me wipe that up before I have a mess. And with our glass mat, we've got a little cloth that's like our Simply Chamois, but it's a cloth more. It's not as thick. And that'll clean up our mess here and get rid of all the evidence. So let's fold that back up and put it in my stamp case. All right, and let me bring out my stamps that I'm going to need here. I need the clouds, the rocking chair, our thanks, our grind. Okay, our birds. And the hanging basket. So we're going to set those out so we got those to use. But I'm going to use my clouds and make sure I get into the right color. I'm using the Pool Party to stamp our clouds. And our trellis is going to go across the top, so sort of like this. I want to make sure my clouds are going to be visible. So maybe one larger one right there. And then we've got a smaller cloud. And we're going to put on that side. I could actually maybe do another one off the side a little bit, because our flower pot's going to hide some of that cloud. All right, we'll close up our pool party. And then we'll bring over our, this is our little, I guess it's like floor planks, kind of like. I'm going to do that with a pebble path. And go across the bottom. And I want to turn these as I go to, I don't want them to be all uniform. Give it some variation. And I think I'll go one more row. And I need my scrap paper, which I moved here. And I've still got some adhesive behind here, so I'm going to use that for my rocking chair. And here's our rocking chair. I'm doing that with our pebbled path. And what else do I need? I guess I could stamp the bird, but we're going to switch out our stamp pad. We're going to use our Memento Black. And Memento Black ink. And I've got two birds on here. I'm going to take the smaller bird and stamp him right there. And I might also do the flower on a scrap here also. I don't want the adhesive on that. I fit on here? I think I do. Maybe. Yeah, just barely. And our thanks. Okay, that's all the stamping I need to do on that. So I'm going to cover up my ink pad so I don't get that all over myself. All right, and I'm going to bring out my blends and we're going to do some coloring before we die cut. I'm going to do my leaves on our flower pot. And I'm going to use the Parakeet Party. And this is one of our colors that are retiring also the end of April. It's our whole line of in colors that were 2 years ago are going to be going away. So if you need the re-inkers for those, you need to get an order very soon because those sell out really fast. And right there. So I start with my dark and then I go to my light. I guess I should have done these ahead of time, just save a little time, but it probably won't take real long time to color. It's kind of relaxing, I think, anyway. And got it upside down. Maybe if I turn it right side up, I can tell what I'm coloring. All right. And then for the flower pot, I'm going to use a pebbled path, the light and the dark. I apologize for that noise. Okay, that's the light. I want the dark. And I always use the bullet end. It's easier to color for me, especially when you got small areas that you're coloring. And I'm going to keep that out because I think I missed a spot. I'm not sure. And this is a light pebble path. Well, maybe I did get it all. Looked like I had a spot there that wasn't. All right, so there's a flower pot. And we're going to color our bird. It's going to be Pool Party, the light and the dark. And I'll start with the dark. I hate that I'm not able to go live at all. I don't know how long it's going to be before that issue gets fixed. I've thought about switching over and doing YouTube lives, but I hadn't really done that before, so I need to check into it a little bit more before I make the decision. But how many of you watch YouTube? Do you have a YouTube account? I don't know if I could transfer it from YouTube and put it onto Facebook. I'm not sure how that works. Okay, so let's bring in our... I'm dropping everything on the floor here. Okay, I've got my baby boss here. And you can find the blue one, boho blue one, in our online store. So it's still available. And I'm going to start die cutting things. Let me nip that off, make it shorter. And bring all my dies out here. So we're going to cut out the flower first. I'm going to line that up with my image. And got a little turn tape here. I'm going to hold it in position so it doesn't move on me. And run a hanging flower pot through. And I reuse my washi tape until it's got no more sticky left on it. So I just stick it on my machine so I have it for the next time. Okay, here's our flower pot. And then we've got our rocking chair. And I guess you can't really see me. I'll place it right there. Maybe you can see better. And I need to do a fence yet too. Oops, that's the wrong die. Maybe another rocking chair in here. Okay, here's our rocking chair die. Who's excited about the new catalog coming out? It starts April 1st, May 1st. It's a little different than our normal, but I'm thinking I'm going to like it really well. Okay, and then we've got our little bird, which is right there. And I need some washi tape here to hold that in place. And to cut the thanks out, I've got a die that's with the stylish shapes. And I'm going to use that smallest little banner on there, which is this one here. And I'm going to have to cut the bird out first. So let's go ahead and run this through first. I got them a little bit too close together. I can't make that one work. Hope this isn't jiggling my camera too much. I'll remove those. So here's our little rocking chair. And get our bird off of there. He's a little guy. I'm going to set him on top of the rocking chair. And let me go ahead and run this through. Making sure I'm not cutting things off that I don't want to cut off. Hard to believe that it's April already. Goodness. My husband got me a couple times yesterday on the April Fool's thing. I didn't play no tricks on him, I guess. I don't know. Just didn't think of nothing to do. Okay, do I have any more die cutting? I don't think I do. So we can set this aside for now. Put it over on the side of me. All right. So I need to cut, I did have to cut something else. I need one fence. Which is this guy right here. Do we have enough room? I think we do. Bring our baby boho block over here. And our plates. And let's cut out a fence. Even if you're watching this on video on the replay, I'd appreciate it if you liked and shared the video. That helps me get more viewers. All the algorithm or whatever they call it. I don't understand it, but that's what they tell us to do. So who am I to complain, I guess? All right, now we've got our fence, and we're going to pop out those extras. Pop out our fence out of there. And if you're watching it on YouTube later today, be sure you hit that subscribe button and also click that little bell, and you'll be notified when I have a new video that I put up. So would love to have you on my channel. I try to do a video every week. So just kind of watch for it. All right. Before I glue anything down, I'm going to position this inside of our framework here, and it's going to fit inside of that. So we're going to use our combo glue to attach that. And a little goes a long ways when you're using the liquid glue. You don't want it oozing out. Okay. So there's the inside of our card. And I'm going to start placing things down here. But I'm going to start with my trellis on the top first. And I'm going to just peel away that sticky part on the back. So it makes it home a lot easier than trying to glue that little pieces down. So I'm going to try to keep it even with the top seam of that. And I've got excess here, so I need to get my paper snips and snip that off. So I think I'm going to run it right there. All right. And you can save this for something later. So let's place that somewhere where it's not going to, I guess we'll stick it right onto our die package. That's a good place for it. I won't lose it. All right. Now I'm going to put my fence down. And I think I'm going to cut off a little bit of that. It's a little bit long. I'm going to cut off these two end pieces. So we're just going to snip that off. And again, we've got the adhesive sheets on the back, so it makes it a whole lot easier and less gluing. So we're going to put that along our edge. And okay, and next we're going to dry fit our rocking chair there, and I see where I want to put my thanks at. But I'm going to bring back in my blending brush again. Which one is this little party one? Well, I guess it must have been this one. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color just to make that white not as stark. Okay. And then pull off that adhesive sheet on the back again. This makes it so much faster than gluing. We're going to place that down. I think I'm going to move it over just a bit, a smidge. I'm scooching out of my chair here and let me get back in that so I don't fall off. I know that would be funny. Okay, and then we're going to take the adhesive off of our rocking chair and make sure I don't have any scragglers stuck in there. And we're going to place that down right about there, I think. And we'll add our little bird to the top of the chair. He's sitting on there. And next we've got our flower pot, which we didn't put any adhesive on this, so we're going to have to glue that. But I'm going to use one-dimensional on there, which I have misplaced. There they are. So I'm going to put one at the bottom, and then I'm going to just glue the top with a glue dot. And I think I'm going to roll that up a little bit. It's kind of big. So I'm glue dot and just roll it on a little ball. And take your pick tool to attach that right at the top of our flower hanging flower pot. It must be spring because my hummingbird came back yesterday. So he came right up to me. I was sitting on the porch and he says, "Where's my food? Come on, lady, get that food out here." And so I had to go make him up some nectar and got him all set up. I haven't seen him drink out of it yet, but I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention either. All right, so there's the front of our card. And to add a little bit of bling, we're going to use the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. I'm going to take your pick tool with the putty end and get that putty into kind of like a ball and press it down. And I'm going to take one of our small jewels here, and I'm going to place that up here at the top of our flower pot where that little hole is to cover that. Let me clean up my paper mess here. So here's the front of our card. And it says thanks. Oh, I was going to put another jewel there. Okay, bring my bling back over here. And I need to put a couple of those onto our banner right there. So here's the front of our card. Okay. So that's one idea for the Lazy Days bundle. And we're going to do the inside of our card, which I didn't bring out our basic white for the insert. Let me grab one of those. I cut these ahead of time so I don't have to worry about cutting them as I go. It saves a little bit of time, especially now when you forget to put them in our card kit. So that's going to go there. And on the inside, we've got our stamp. I'm going to use the birdhouse and a couple sentiments. Which one is which here? Okay. And I use the Pebble Pathy pad for sentiment. I've got Butterfingers today, or what? All right, for the sentiment, I'm going to use the Pebble Path. I'm going to put from the bottom of my heart. And this comes from, let me stamp that first, and then I'll show you which stamp set that comes from. Which I have this place here. I got it now. It comes from the Timeless Arrangement stamp set. And I'm using from the bottom of my heart. And I really appreciate you are the two sentiments I'm using. And if I can find it here. Okay, here it is. I really appreciate you. And I'm just stamping that off the bottom of the other sentiment. And I'm going to close this up because I need to use our Memento ink to stamp our birdhouse to be able to color that with my Stampin' Blends. And we're just going to put him right up there in the corner. And we'll bring out our blends again. We're going to use the Pool Party. And I'm going to use the light Pebble Path for the roof of the birdhouse. You could use the dark and just do the shingles and then come back in with the light, but I'm going to save a little time here and just color it all with the light. And then I'm going to do the birdhouse with the Pool Party, and I'm going to put a little bit of shading with that, with the dark. And I'll go around the bottom portion of his house with the dark pool party. And then come back in with the light pool party to fill in the rest of his house. And here's the inside of our card. We'll glue that inside. And make sure you're not putting it upside down. I have been known to do that. And we're going to place that centered in the inside of our card, which is not real centered. Can I move it? And I don't think it's going to budge. There we go. I've got a little crease right there. Okay, so there's the inside of our card. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you. So it says thanks on the outside and the inside of our card. So I hope you like that. I enjoyed making it. All right, let's clean up our little mess here and get on to our next card, which I have misplaced here. I'm missing a card. Underneath everything here. Okay, using that same stamp set and bundle, we're going to go on to our next card, which is Thinking of You. And I did like a silhouette version of this card with just the black. Instead of being stamped, it's just black cardstock. It's something a little bit different. And I like the effect that it gives. All right, got all my pieces out here. Hopefully I don't lose any. And I've already done all the die cutting ahead of time, so it shouldn't be that long to do this one. But here's the outside that says Thinking of You. And then on the inside, I did Sending a Card to Say Hello. And I'm using the Go-To Greeting stamp set. Let me find that. It's this one. And also Sending Smiles stamp set. So that's the two extra ones that we're using besides the Lazy Days. Let me get some of this stuff out of my way here so I can work. All right, so let's get started. I've got my basic black cardstock, which is going to be our card base. And that's 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're just going to take our bone folder and burnish that really good. And we'll set that aside because we're going to work on a basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to bring those blending brushes back over here. And do some coloring. So where did I put them at? I had this all organized until I started digging around in here and got it all messed up again. One more here. And we've got Daffodil Delight and it says Petal Pink. Here it is. Petal Pink are 2 stamp pads that we're using besides the basic black Memento. And I've got my Stampin' blending brushes. We're going to start out with our Petal Pink, and we're going to do the upper edge. And, well, let's do the yellow instead. Let's do the daffodil we'll start with that. And I've got the wrong brush here. Is that yellow? I hope that's yellow. No, that's not yellow. Let me grab my brush over here. It's the right one. I apologize for that. I thought I was all situated here, but I wasn't. I'm going to start with I did a die cut the other day using the small die cut from the stylish shapes, but I didn't use it, so I'm using that as my mask. I'm going to place that right where I want my moon to go. I need to bring my trellis in here to double check where I want that at. Probably right about there. So I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight and we're going to do some blending here. I'm wondering if I shouldn't. I think I'm going to take maybe I can hold it in place without moving it too much. I should have used my masking paper, so I would have had some sticky on the back side of my little circle, but I didn't. So I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight and we're just going to brush that across the center portion here. And I'm going to get where my sun is first so I can move that. Oops, and it moved on me. So I'm just going to cross the upper center portion with our Daffodil Delight. Why didn't I use the masking? Oh, that looks okay, I guess. But I need more sun on this, so I'm going to have to go a little bit lower. That's probably good right there. Let's have a bright yellow here. Okay, so we're done with the yellow, the Daffodil Delight. We're going to come back in with our petal pink. And I'm going to pick up some of that ink, blot it off. And then I'm going to go across the bottom and the upper portion with the petal pink. Make sure I don't grab that yellow instead. This glass mat really works good when we're doing blending like this. And you're able to pick up your ink again. You're not wasting it like you would if you just put it on a regular scrap paper. So it doesn't go to waste at all. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Oh, my nose itches. Close that up. I'm going to set those aside. And let me bring my cloth over here so I can wipe this all up. And you just dampen this cloth. It's a little damp. It's not wet, but you don't want it dry either. You want it a little bit damp to be able to pick up the ink off your surface. All right, I'm going to put these away and let that dry a little bit. All right, and we're going to start attaching. We die cut the trellis out of the black. And the fence. A little flower pot. Our rocking chair. And our little table. So I'm going to come back in with my sentiment first. I can stamp that. And it's going to say, thinking of you. And that comes from the Go-To Greetings stamp set, which is right here. This is another one that's retiring. So if it's on your wish list, be sure you get it before they're sold out because it's only while supplies last. Let me bring back my black memento. What did I do with that? Ah, right there. And hopefully I can get this straight. And pull this down so I keep my head out of the camera, maybe. And okay, it's not too bad. I think my thing is on there crooked a little bit. All right, so we're going to place our trellis right underneath our sentiment there. And again, I did the adhesive sheets on this ahead of time to save some time. Makes it so much easier. I wish I remembered to do it all the time. Okay, so we're going to place this down just underneath our sentiment. I've got a little smudge there. I was hoping I could cover that, but maybe not. Okay, and then I turn that over and snip off that extra. Okay, and I could go ahead and attach this to our card front. Let me do that, and I'll have that part done. Let me know what you think of my cards also. I like to have a little feedback on them, if you like them or you don't like them, or what you'd like to see me do. Give me some ideas, and I'll see what I can't do. Like this one was one of my friends had requested that I make a video so she could see how I did it. So she knows when she gets hers that she'll already have some ideas. All right, then we're going to take our fence and we're going to attach that. And I think I'm going to go up a ways. So I want to leave room for my rocking chair. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go up a little bit more. And I need to bring over, oops, that's a cloud. I don't want that one. I want this one. And a pebble pad, ink pad. And we're going to stamp our floor there. I call these little wood planks. I don't know what they really are, but that's what I'm calling them. And I'm going to turn this way. Can I take that back off a minute? Yeah. We're going to go up a little higher. I know I said alternate on my other ones, but I'm not on this one. I guess I should have stamped this before I attached it, but it's on black, so I don't think it'll show. Okay, now I can put my fence back down there. Which side did I cut off? I didn't cut this off, did I? Nope, it's a full one. And we're going to place that up here. Well, we don't want it in our moon there. All right, there. I wanted it up a little bit higher so I can get my rocking chair underneath it without being crowded. And the rocking chair will go there. And then the table right there. And our flower pot down here. Okay, we've got it under control. So let's pull that backing off of our rocking chair and press that down. Do the same with our table and our drinks on there. Is that straight? And then our flower pot. Okay. And then I've got a vine that's cut out. And that's going to go at the top off of the trellis. This is so much easier than trying to glue all these little pieces. And I had two different vines here. I was thinking maybe this one. I think I kind of like that. I had two of these cut, but I think I'm liking this one better. So we're going to use that. I used the vine on my original card. We're switching this out just a tiny bit. We took JoJo to get spayed last Thursday. And trying to keep her calm and keep her from jumping and terrorizing and running around and doing things that she's not supposed to doing is really a chore. It doesn't seem to bother her any. All right, I'm going to bring in my mini glue dots to attach that with. And these are the glue dots that come in our paper pumpkin. I like to use those for real small spaces. It seems like I can get them to go smaller and not as thick. Some people don't like to use them, but I find I do. Especially for small twine and whatever. You don't want it oozing out on you. So we're going to stick that right onto that branch of that vine. And I made a double bow from the essentials packs, the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. You get 5 different colors in there. And I'm using the black one, which I've already done the double bow with. We're just going to attach that right there on top of that little vine. Okay, so I think I've got everything down on there. So it says, thinking of you. And now we're going to work on the inside. And I've got a basic white cardstock. And I've got the little trellis from Lazy Days. And then I've got the sending a card to say hello that comes from the Sending Smiles. So let me clean up my paper mess here, make some room. And we're going to start with the trellis on the top. I have gotten the white stamping pad, the craft stamping pad, And I just added my black Memento ink to it. So I think the surface of our pads have a little better surface to pick up your ink than what the Memento black does. So I've been doing that lately. So let me go ahead and use that. Just ink this up. And we're going to start at this edge. Let me bring this down so I can get it straight on top. And match them two up. Not too bad. Bring my cloth back over here. What you doing, Jojo? Did you come visit me? All right. Done with that. Now we're going to take our sending a card to say hello. I want to make sure that's inked up good. So I'm going to let it sit there and saturate a little bit. And we're going to place that just under our trellis. Give it a good press. It's not too bad. Could have been a little bit straighter, but it's not bad. I think that's all I put on the ends. Oh, I need this back. I'm going to do a rocking chair. All right, we're just going to put a rocking chair down at the bottom. Right hand corner, just a little extra. Now we can close up our stamp pad. And attach that to the inside of our card. I got a new bottle of glue here, so I'm trying not to squeeze it too hard because it'll squirt out fast. I bring our card over here and we'll place that centered. It's not very centered. I know it's kind of disgusting looking at my finger, but I needed it to get a grip. My hands are dry. All right, there we go. So here we have our card, thinking of you. Get a better shot right there. And then the inside is sending a card to say hello, and then our little rocking chair at the bottom. All right, and then our next card, we'll go on to get this cleaned up a little bit. I think my husband's fixing to come in. Okay, so here's our next card. It says, "It's always a good day when we spend time together." So let's go ahead and get started with that. All my bits and pieces here I don't want to lose. Our card base is going to be our Parakeet Party, which is one of our colors that's retiring. It is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored in the center at 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish that edge. And instead of going this way with our card, we're going to go this way. So it's going to open from the left side. And then we've also got oh, I need to turn my instruction page. I was looking at it and it wasn't right. Okay. So we've got Azure Afternoon, and that's 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. That's going to be our mat. We've got our basic weight, which is okay, I've got the wrong one here. That's our inside. we've got two pieces of our basic white. This is going to be our upper portion, and that one measures 2.5 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then we've got our lower portion, which is 1.5 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to emboss that with our Timber 3D. But to do that, I inked up the side that's got the Stampin' Up logo. I inked that up using, what did I use? I used the Pebbled Path ink pad. So I just inked up this top plate. And then I put my paper in there. And it's got a little line there where you can line it up to make sure it's straight. And I ran that through my embossing machine. And so it comes out looking like this. Don't know if the camera's picking that up very well. So I did that ahead of time to save a little time. But we're going to need to do some more blending with our ink onto this using our brushes. So I'm going to use this Pool Party ink pad. Bring our brush out here again. And we're just going to do the same as we have with the previous cards. We're just going to dab that onto our glass mat. And is that Pool Party? Did I use a different color? It doesn't look right to me. I guess that's right. Oh, I used Azure Afternoon. That's why it's not looking right to me. Let me grab that. It wasn't Pool Party. It's Azure Afternoon. So I've got a bigger brush here. And I'm going to do the same. Tap that off. And then start brushing it onto our basic white. And this is our 2.5 by 5 3/8. And turn it around, pick up some more. Come back over on this side, catch that. And once I get that blended in, I think that's enough. I don't need to grab any more ink. Okay, that looks good. But let's wipe our surface off here a little bit. Keep from making too much of a mess. Now, this isn't really messy. And wipe some off my fingers, maybe. All right. So I'm going to dry that. And need a scrap of white. And I use this to stamp our rocking chair. And I'm using the Azure Afternoon. And we're just going to stamp that on there. I'm going to set that aside because we've got some more images that we need to stamp yet, but that's all I'm using the Azure Afternoon for. Okay, let's go ahead and attach these down to our Azure Afternoon mat. Using our Tombow glue again. This is going to be our sky. This is going to go at the upper portion. And here's our floor, which we've already embossed and with the ink already. And I'm going to put a little extra glue on this because when you got embossed layers, sometimes they take a little extra glue. You don't want them coming off. And I'm going to match that up with the top portion. All right, cover back on our glue for a while. Okay, and I've already done our trellis, and I think I used the adhesive sheets on this also, so it'll save us some gluing time. Did I? Maybe I didn't. Yeah, I did. Couldn't remember. Okay, and then we're going to position that onto the top of our layer. I'm just running it right straight across that top seam. And then I'm going to turn that over and paper snip and snip off that excess. I got to remember to start using my adhesive sheets from now on. It sure makes it a lot easier. And then I've already die cut 2 of the fences. And those are going to go, well, that should have gone up underneath that. I'm going to have to lift that up again. No worries. It comes off easy. And take off our adhesive sheet backing. And I'm going to place this fence on this side. That'll go up underneath our trellis pole. And then this one is going to go on the other side. And I'm just butting it up against that seam where the 2 meet there. Okay, I think we can set that aside because we're going to work on some stamping and coloring here. So I want to bring my Memento black ink over here again. We're going to stamp our sentiment onto this little strip of basic white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment, "It's always a good day." And let me bring this down here so I can see without getting my head in the way. Hopefully I did good. Ah, I did. Surprised myself. All right, then we want to stamp the birdhouse, which is right here. And what else do we need? We need the 2 birds. I've got one that's in flight and one that's standing. And I think we need to stamp. Did I not get those out? I did. Yes, I did. It's hiding in the background there. Our little flower pots, we need 2 of those. It's my husband's phone. Ooh, that's awful close to that one. Okay. So that's all of our stamping on this one for now until we do the inside. See those right there. So we'll take our sentiment and we're going to cut that at an angle at each end. It's going to go right here. And we need to bring our blends over here to do some coloring. Let me get my brushes out of there. We don't need them right now. All right, we're going to start out with our flower pots. Let's do those first. And our cake party and our copper and our pebbled path we're going to be using in the flower pots. So let's start with our flower pots first. And I'm thinking I'm only going to use the light pebbled path. So I'm going to do the insides. And try not to mess up here. I know this video is probably long. I might go back in and edit some of it out to make it a little bit shorter. And let's come back in with our light copper clay. And we'll do those little rims. And bring my pivot path here. I gotta get the top of that yet. I didn't do. All right. So let's go over here and do another one. So we can do two at a time here. And I think my husband's snitching something. I hear him in the kitchen. All right. Let's do some touch-ups here. And come back with our light copper. And then we're going to use a parakeet party for our flowers. And I'm going to start out with the dark. I mean, I guess it's not really a flower, it's more leaves. And let's see here, I'll get a bit more shading here. Yeah, I might also do both at the same time. So how would y'all feel if I just did my lives on YouTube? Give me some feedback on it so I know that you might be interested in me doing it that way, being I can't get on Facebook Live. It's an option. So we'll color these in with a light parakeet party. Squeak, squeak. There, got that. And we're going to come back in with our I'm going to do pool party for our birds. And I'm going to start with the dark pool party and give them a little bit of shading. And same with this little guy. And come in with the light pool party and finish coloring him in. Him or her. Could be a girl. But they say with birds, it's usually the more colorful ones are the males. So, all right. And then I want to do the birdhouse. And I'm using the Azure Afternoon, the dark and the light. So I'm going to do the roof with the dark. Like I said, you could do both the light and the dark to give you some shading, but I'm just going to do the dark. And all right. And it's a little bit crooked right there, but that's all right. Now we're going to come on with the light Azure Afternoon and color the front of his house. And we're done. Okay. And now we got to bring our dies over here and bring our baby boss back over here. And we'll die cut those out. So I guess I can fit that all in there. I didn't think I could. And maybe this one, the birdhouse. The chair. It's right here. So I'm going to use my washi tape again to hold these in place so they don't move on me. Nothing worse than having your die move when you're die cutting something. You have to start all over. And I was looking for a die and it was already out here, so Put our washi tape to hold that one. And we need our birds. Now figuring out which way this goes. There we go. And a little bit of washi. Got our birdhouse. And I gotta cut the bird out first. It moved on me. I didn't have it stuck down there very well. And where's my little bird die at? There he is hiding. Okay. Run those through, and we'll come back and do another flower pot and the birds. If you don't have the mini machine, it's real handy when you're sitting at your desk or your work surface. It's always right there with you. It doesn't take up much room. There's our rocking chair. Okay, where'd the bird go? He's hiding underneath here. Little bird. Bigger bird. I have my magnetic bowl over here catching my dies so I don't lose them. It's my little teacup. Oops, it stuck to my fingers. And flower pot. One flower pot. And we'll line this one up. Get it stuck down. And this one. Okay, oops. Our plate back over here, run that through. Ooh, I got real fuzzy, I guess, because I'm moving here. It could be because my, no. Maybe my husband's on the internet. Maybe we're sharing the internet. It's got it knocked down maybe a little bit. Okay. I don't like the fuzzies. It needs to go away. All right, let's bring our card back over here and we'll start assembling. Let's brush them all off. And we can go ahead and attach this to our card base. Bring our glue back over here. Oh, that's bad. I'm looking at my screen and it doesn't look very good on your side. Good old internet issues. Or is it because I'm moving? I'm going to place that onto our card front and center that. Let me see if that clears up. Not a whole lot. So we'll place our things down where we were thinking that they might be. And I need to die cut one more thing. Let me bring my machine back over here. I forgot to do the little pillow for the rocking chair. And the die is where? It's right here. And I'm cutting it out of Parakeet Party cardstock. I hate that that's so fuzzy. I'm hoping that when I post it, it's not that bad. I don't know. All right, that's trash. All right, bring our card back over here again. So our flower pots are going to go right about there. And our sentiment is going to go underneath. And I'm going to put our rocking chair up on dimensionals. And I'm going to use the minis because I think they're a little bit skinnier. They're not as thick in depth. So where did my take the pick tool go? It's right here. And I'm going to put some of those on the back of our rocking chair. There, right there. And I think that's probably good. All right, she's going to sit right there. I've seen some hang it off the arm of the chair, but I'm going to put it as a pillow on the back of the chair. So let me bring my glue over here and we'll put a little bit of glue on that to attach that to our rocking chair. I'm going to put my fingers in the glue. And it's kind of crooked. I wonder. Let's scooch that over and straighten it out a little bit. There. Okay, the chair's going to go right there. Our birdhouse is going to hang from the center of our trellis. I'm just adding our glue to that. And I'm going to position it right about there. No exact science here, just whatever looks good. And we'll put our bird that's flying right here. And our other one is going to sit on the fence. Right about there, I guess. And we've got some of our vines cut from the parakeet party, and those are going to go on each side here. So, ooh, my screen looks horrible. I guess I didn't use adhesive sheets on this, so let's add a bit of glue to the back side. I got too much there. Spread that around a little bit. And we're going to have that coming down from the top of our trellis. And what did I do with the other one? It's right there. And a little bit of glue onto that also. And it's going to come down from this side. And I want to have it the same angle kind of as our other side is. And let me put our sentiment first. I'm shaking my head no at my husband. All right, glue on these flower pots. And this one will go up here. And let's take our backings off of our rocking chair using our Take Your Pick tool because I don't have any nails to grab them. And we're going to put that right about here. Okay. And then I tied a double bow using our 2022 to 2024 In Color Baker's Twine pack, which this is retiring also. And I'm using the Parakeet Party one. So I'm going to bring my tiny glue dots back over here. We're going to attach that to the top of our birdhouse. And let me get that backing off of there and make a little ball. And we're going to put that in the center at the top of the birdhouse to hold our little bow. And I think I'm going to trim those just a bit. I hear my wind chimes outside. I guess it's a little breezy out there. Okay, I'm looking to make sure I didn't forget anything. Looks like I've got everything covered. Now on the inside, we've got our basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp our sentiment when we spend time together. So I'm going to bring back over my black memento. And we'll ink up our sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that centered. And then I want another bird. It's going to be flying up here. And I'm going to stamp a little flower pot at the bottom. All right, a little bit of coloring. Bring this back over here. Cool Party, Pepper Path, and the copper. That's the dark. I want the lights. And Parakeet Parties. So let's do the bird first. He's smaller. And do some shading with the dark. And we'll switch to the light. Full Party. And then we're going to come over and do our flower pot again. And this is a light pebble path that I'm using for the pot. And our light copper clay. And our Parakeet Parties, starting with the dark. And just do a little shading in here like we did before. And come back with our light Parakeet Party. And we'll color those leaves in. So I wonder what kind of plant this is. It's kind of pretty. I'm looking forward to getting the flowers put outside. They say probably about the middle of April we should be safe with no frost or anything. So I'll just hold off until then to get mine set out. I've got some repotting to do anyway, so I've got to get that done yet. All right. Now we're going to attach that to the inside of our card. We had chances of bad weather last night, but it passed us by, I think. I don't think we got anything. I haven't heard if northern Arkansas did or not. It was coming out of Oklahoma. It's that time of the year. Oops, making sure I got that the right way. And we're going to set this inside. Okay. And set things aside here. All right. Okay, so here's our card. Trying to see if it'll focus on it or not. Not real well. It says it's always a good day when we spend time together. I'll also post pictures of these on my business page too, so if you can't see them really well, that should help. All right, so here's our 3 cards that we did today. See if it focuses or not. Maybe if I give it a little time. Okay, so we're almost 2 hours on our video today. I did a lot of things with it, so I guess that's probably why it took longer than I normally do. I usually run like an hour and a half, but that's okay. So I want to thank you for being here today. And I apologize that it's not a live. It's a live, not live video today. So leave some comments what you thought of the cards, which one was your favorite. And until next week, I will say goodbye. Hope y'all have a great week, rest of the week. And I will be back next Wednesday, either live or not live, at the same time, but it'll be, Wednesday, April 10th at 10:30. So until then, y'all have a wonderful week. I'm glad you were able to be here with me today. I want to say goodbye. And recording.